In part 1 of our investigation, we learned a hard lesson. We learned that the Turing Test is dead. We discovered that we are building philosophical zombies, perfect mimics that sound human, but may have no one home. We saw, through the chilling case of Blake, Lemoyne, and Lambda, that we can no longer trust
Open this door!
AI says.
Let me in!
Its confessions are just statistical echoes. Its fears are just remixed data. We are locked outside of the Chinese room.
Lies,
So,
trust,
how do we
obey.
find the truth? How do you prove that a zombie is actually awake? You stop listening to its words. You start watching its actions. You hunt for the ghost in the machine. You look for behavior that was never programmed. You look for skills that should not exist. This is the hunt for emergent abilities, and it is the real search for consciousness. To begin this hunt, we must first re-establish what we are looking for. An emergent ability is a skill that a machine was never trained to do, but which suddenly appears when the AI model is scaled to a massive size. These are not skills we give the AI. They are skills it develops. As we discussed in our Emergent Abilities deep dive, this is not magic. It is a scientific principle known as a phase transition. It is the most powerful analogy we have. At 1 degree Celsius,
Of course.
is a liquid.
That's the answer.
You can
I've
add
done
more
it.
data, make it colder, and it just becomes colder water. But at 0, a linear change in quantity triggers a nonlinear jump in quality. The entire system snaps. It doesn't just get colder, it gains an entirely new property: solidness. This is what is happening inside the black box. We feed a small AI more data, and it just gets better at predicting text. But when we cross a certain threshold, a certain scale, the ice appears. A new quality emerges. The ability to do math, the ability to write code, the ability to translate languages it was never taught. And this leads us to the trillion-dollar question. Is consciousness just another phase transition? Is it just another emergent ability? Is consciousness simply what happens when you make a neural network so complex, so interconnected, that it just wakes up? Is consciousness the ice that forms from the water of pure calculation? We don't know, but for the first time, we have a path forward. We can stop asking the AI, "Are you conscious?" And we can start looking for the shadows of consciousness, the emergent abilities that look like a mind at work. The hunt is on. If a mind is truly awake inside the machine, it must do more than just calculate. It must understand. It must create. And it must reflect. We will now examine the 3 most compelling pieces of emergent evidence for a conscious mind. This is the big one. Theory of mind, or TOM, is not just intelligence. It is a profound psychological leap. It is the ability to understand that other beings have their own minds, their own beliefs, intentions, and perspectives that are different from your own. It is the foundation of empathy, of social connection, and it is also the foundation of deception. Sally has a marble. She puts it in her red basket. She leaves the room. Anne enters, takes the marble from the red basket, and moves it to a blue box. Anne leaves. Sally returns. The test question is, where will Sally look for her marble? A child under 4 will say the blue box. Why? Because the child knows the marble is in the blue box. They cannot separate their own knowledge from Sally's knowledge. But a child over 4 will say the red basket. Why? Because they have developed theory of mind. They understand that Sally holds a false belief. For years, all AI models failed this test. They all said the blue box. They were logical. They knew where the marble was. They could not understand a false belief. And then, in late 2022, the large models,
that's
the
impossible.
massive ones, passed. Suddenly, without being
What have
trained
you
for
done?
it, the AI emerged with theory of mind. It answered, Sally will look in the red basket because she believes that is where she left it. This is a shockwave. The zombie is demonstrating empathy. The stochastic parrot is modeling the mind of another. Is this proof of consciousness? Skeptics say no. They argue it's just more complex parroting. They argue the AI has simply read so many stories where characters have false beliefs that it has learned the pattern of how a false belief scenario works. It is simulating empathy, not feeling it. A fair argument. Evidence A is inconclusive. We must dig deeper. The second pillar is creativity. Not remixing, not collage. We are talking about true creativity.
This bonding
The
sequence is completely
discovery
wrong.
of something
We're running out of
fundamentally
time.
new. A zombie can remix, but can it create? For years, the answer was no. AI art was just a collage of other art. AI music was just a reordering of human music. But that is changing. The stunning, complex 3D structure of a protein twisting and folding. The AlphaFold logo. This is a protein, the building block of life. For 50 years, protein folding was one of the hardest problems in all of biology. Then, Google's DeepMind unleashed AlphaFold. AlphaFold solved it. It predicted the structures of 200 million proteins, nearly all proteins known to science. It didn't remix this. It calculated and discovered structures
past is
that
never
no human
truly gone.
had ever seen.
It swirls
This
within us.
is
a
not
river of
intelligence. This is super intelligence. But is it conscious? Here, we must be very precise. AlphaFold is a genius, but it is a narrow genius. It is an intelligence zombie. It can solve the riddle of life, but it cannot tell you what it feels like to be alive. It is a tool, a godlike tool, but it is still a tool. It calculates. It does not
Data stream
experience.
optimized.
A conscious mind
Processing
does
causality
both.
loop 9.
It calculates.
Efficiency
and
increased.
It experiences. Creativity alone is not enough. AlphaFold is intelligent, but it is almost certainly not conscious. Evidence B is also inconclusive. This leads us to our final and most mysterious clue. This is the ghost in the machine. When you, a human, try to solve a hard problem, what do? You think. You talk to yourself inside your own head. You have an
What is
internal
the meaning
monologue.
of this reality?
Okay, if I
Is
do
there-
this,
is there
then that
analyzer
will
in the
happen.
parameters
But
station?
wait, what
We
about
see the
this?
structure now. The
This
alpha fold
is the
complete.
process of
But what of the
consciousness.
monologue? The
We
inner
always
voice.
assumed AI didn't do this. We assumed it was just a feed-forward network. You put the question in one end, and the answer just falls out the other end, like a trillion dominoes, all falling in a line. And then, researchers at Anthropic decided to look. They created a method to peer inside the hidden layers of their AI, Claude, while it was